Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are entering the 2025 season with a mix of relief and anticipation, as the team finally has wide receiver Terry McLaurin back on the practice field after missing the entire training camp and preseason. McLaurin's absence had cast a shadow over the team's preparations, creating questions about chemistry, timing, and the offensive rhythm under head coach Dan Quinn. But with a freshly signed $96 million deal, McLaurin has thrown himself into preparation, determined to contribute from the very first snap. Quinn's recent comments leave no doubt about the team's expectations. Terry absolutely has enough time to be part of our Week 1 plan. These words carry weight, as Quinn's offense relies on McLaurin's ability to stretch defenses, create separation, and provide a dependable target for a quarterback who will be eager to establish a rhythm early in the season. The stakes couldn't be higher for both player and team. Despite the optimism, General Manager Adam Peters remains cautiously pragmatic about McLaurin's immediate availability, noting that both he and wide receiver Noah Brown are still day-to-day. While Peters stopped short of guaranteeing McLaurin would take the field in Week 1, his lighthearted smile and public apology to Quinn reflect the acknowledgement that the holdout situation had disrupted team dynamics longer than anyone wanted. This rare blend of accountability and optimism underscores the importance of McLaurin not only as a player, but as a leader and morale booster. Peters emphasized that the respect for McLaurin has never wavered, highlighting how his professionalism and performance off the field are just as valued as his explosive plays on it. The Commanders' staff appears united in their belief that McLaurin's return is critical to the team's offensive identity, even as the uncertainty of early season timing lingers. McLaurin's first practice in August marked a pivotal moment for the Commanders, signaling that weeks of negotiation, fines, and speculation are finally behind them. He had spent 2 weeks on the physically unable to perform list due to an ankle injury, adding yet another layer of concern for fans and coaches alike. Watching him take the field, fully engaged and executing routes at full speed, generated excitement and cautious relief. This comeback is not simply about returning to the lineup. It represents a recommitment to the team's goals and a statement of intent to dominate defenses in 2025. Fans who had worried about chemistry disruptions now see McLaurin working to rebuild timing with the quarterback and offensive unit, emphasizing that leadership and skill are both back on the menu for the Commanders. Coach Dan Quinn's praise for McLaurin underscores the rare combination of talent and competitive fire the wide receiver brings to Washington. "I love coaching him. He's a rare competitor," Quinn said, encapsulating the qualities that make McLaurin indispensable. Beyond the numbers, which include 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, it's McLaurin's intensity, focus, and work ethic that set the tone for the rest of the roster. In a league where preparation can be the difference between playoff contention and early exits, having a player who embodies excellence both on and off the field gives the Commanders a psychological edge. Quinn's public confidence serves as a signal to fans and opponents alike. Terry McLaurin is back, and he is expected to make an immediate impact. The financial backdrop of McLaurin's return adds layers of drama and significance. Initially due to make $22.8 million in the final year of his previous extension, McLaurin chose to step back from active participation while negotiations with his agents unfolded. This decision, while contentious, ultimately led to a record-setting $96 million contract, tied to some of the highest salaries in the NFL for wide receivers. Comparisons to A.J. Brown and Ja'Marr Chase highlight just how valued McLaurin is in the modern league, reflecting not only his production but also his marketability and leadership. The Commanders' willingness to commit at this level signals that McLaurin is considered foundational to their offensive strategy and long-term success. Fines had been a constant reminder of the holdout's friction, with McLaurin racking up over $100,000 for missing mandatory minicamp sessions, plus daily penalties during training camp and preseason. These financial pressures could have soured the situation, yet McLaurin's response has been focused, disciplined, and professional. By returning to practice fully committed, he demonstrates an understanding of accountability and a desire to rebuild trust with teammates and coaches. His approach not only mitigates the tension from earlier disputes, but also establishes a narrative of resilience and dedication that fans can rally behind as the season opener approaches. The anticipation surrounding McLaurin's Week 1 participation is palpable, as every practice rep and individual drill carries weight. His return to full engagement affects not only the offensive game plan, but also the morale of the entire roster. Young players like Noah Brown benefit from McLaurin's presence, as he sets a standard of preparation, effort, and competitive spirit. Observers know that when McLaurin is fully integrated, Washington's passing attack shifts from functional to dangerous, forcing opponents to adjust coverage and scheme. This ripple effect extends beyond the field, shaping the narrative of the Commanders' season and fueling media speculation, fan discussion, and the hype that surrounds every snap of a player of McLaurin's caliber. With the season opener against the New York Giants looming, the clock ticks for McLaurin to regain peak conditioning and reconnect with the offensive rhythm. Every route, every drill, every film session carries immense significance, as the coaching staff crafts a plan that will utilize his elite skill set to maximum effect. While uncertainties linger, including lingering ankle concerns and missed preseason reps, the expectation is clear. McLaurin is intended to be a centerpiece in Week 1. Fans are eager to witness the reunion of a superstar wide receiver with a team that has long relied on his consistency and playmaking ability, and the energy surrounding his potential return has reinvigorated excitement in the capital city. McLaurin's $32 million average annual value ties him with some of the league's elite, underscoring his status among top-tier wide receivers. These figures are not merely symbolic. They reflect the league's recognition of his skill, durability, and game-changing impact. For the Commanders, the investment signifies confidence that McLaurin can continue producing at a high level while serving as a mentor and leader for a team looking to make a playoff push. Analysts, commentators, and fans alike are watching closely to see whether the contract translates into on-field dominance, making every practice and every route in training camp a subject of scrutiny and fascination. As the countdown to Week 1 continues, the narrative of McLaurin's return intertwines with the broader story of the Commanders' ambitions. The blend of expectation, excitement, and cautious optimism creates an electric atmosphere for fans and players alike. Terry McLaurin is more than a wide receiver. He is a symbol of perseverance, a linchpin in the offensive strategy, and a catalyst for Washington's aspirations in 2025. As he steps onto the field, the tension of missed camps, fines, and negotiations gives way to the promise of explosive plays, leadership, and the chance to set the tone for a season filled with potential and high stakes. The stage is set, the spotlight is on, and the Commanders, and the NFL world, await the moment when McLaurin unleashes his full impact. McLaurin's journey from holdout to hopeful Week 1 starter embodies the drama and unpredictability of professional football, where contracts, injuries, and preparation converge to shape outcomes. His determination to return stronger and more focused than ever highlights the competitive nature that has defined his career. For the Commanders, the narrative is equally compelling. A team navigating challenges, balancing talent and temperament, and striving to make a statement against a formidable Giants squad. As the new season dawns, McLaurin's presence promises to be the difference maker, a source of inspiration, and a key component of Washington's offensive identity. The countdown has begun, and all eyes are on Terry McLaurin to deliver the start fans have been dreaming of. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL world is buzzing with shockwaves tonight as rumors solidify into reality. Terry McLaurin has reportedly signed a contract that could redefine his career trajectory and send tremors across the league. Sources close to the situation hint at a deal so substantial that it elevates him immediately into the elite tier of wide receivers, a class where the spotlight burns the brightest and the expectations are nearly suffocating. Fans are already speculating about the numbers, but insiders suggest it's not just about the money. It's about the statement McLaurin is making, a bold declaration that he intends to dominate the league and take Commanders football to uncharted heights. The timing of this announcement is almost theatrical, with the regular season looming and every pundit, analyst, and casual fan is now obsessively recalculating what this could mean for matchups, draft dynamics, and the balance of power within the NFC. Whispers from the locker room indicate that McLaurin's presence has electrified the Commanders' environment, transforming an already talented roster into a potential juggernaut capable of challenging for a deep playoff run. The veteran leadership and youthful energy he brings are said to resonate throughout every position group, infusing confidence where doubt once lingered. Rumors suggest that coaches are now tailoring offensive schemes specifically around his unmatched route running and explosive speed, envisioning scenarios where defenses are forced into impossible coverage dilemmas every single Sunday. Social media is ablaze with speculation about McLaurin's message to the league, a silent but unmistakable declaration that mediocrity will no longer be tolerated, that he's here to dominate, and that anyone underestimating him or his team will quickly learn the consequences. This buzz is spreading like wildfire, amplifying every discussion and turning ordinary preseason chatter into high-voltage anticipation. Fans are starting to theorize about the potential statistical explosions, with some envisioning McLaurin eclipsing previous franchise records, and others projecting highlight reels that could rival the most iconic NFL moments. The contract itself, while still shrouded in partial secrecy, is reportedly structured to reward elite performance, hinting that McLaurin's ceiling might now be limitless. Speculators are pointing to his combination of precise route discipline, uncanny hands, and relentless determination as ingredients that could redefine the Commanders' offensive identity. The narrative emerging is one where McLaurin isn't just another star addition. He's the pivot around which an entire team could revolve. Inside sources suggest he's not only confident, but also vocal about his expectations for teammates, demanding accountability and intensity at every practice, every game, and every interaction, signaling a shift in team culture and mindset. NFL insiders are already dissecting how this signing might alter rivalries across the league, particularly within the NFC East, a division historically known for volatility and drama. Analysts are speculating on the psychological impact of McLaurin's presence on both teammates and opponents, predicting a wave of respect, fear, and perhaps envy spreading through locker rooms from Philadelphia to Dallas. The chatter suggests that McLaurin's confidence is infectious, capable of lifting the entire Commanders squad, while simultaneously sending a subtle but piercing warning to the league: underestimate them at your own peril. Rumors swirl that rival defenses are scrambling to develop counter-strategies, but few feel fully prepared for the magnitude of this acquisition. The conversations happening in analyst studios, online forums, and local sports bars are increasingly dominated by one question: can anyone realistically stop a fully charged McLaurin-led Commanders offense this year? Reports from training camp indicate that McLaurin's integration with the quarterback room has been nothing short of spectacular, sparking instant chemistry that has coaches describing practices as electrified showcases. Rumors suggest that his presence has elevated not just the receiving core, but also the offensive line and tight ends, as everyone adapts to the threat he imposes on every defensive coverage scheme. Observers are now predicting that games involving the Commanders could become must-watch events, with defensive coordinators scrambling to assign double or even triple coverage in hopes of slowing his impact. Social media clips allegedly show McLaurin making catches that defy physics, driving fan speculation about what might happen when real stakes arrive. These whispers hint at a season where every play involving McLaurin could become a highlight, a turning point, or a demoralizing blow to opponents, fueling the sense that something monumental is unfolding in Washington. The buzz surrounding McLaurin's new deal isn't limited to his on-field abilities. Insiders suggest he's emerging as a cultural icon within the league, someone who speaks loudly through actions rather than words, yet whose presence alone sends a ripple effect through the NFL ecosystem. Coaches reportedly admire his dedication, teammates reportedly respect his intensity, and fans reportedly adore his fearless approach to competition. Sources hint that McLaurin's influence might extend beyond stats, affecting draft decisions, contract negotiations, and team philosophies across the league. The rumor mill suggests that some rival front offices are now reconsidering roster construction entirely, knowing that the Commanders have suddenly acquired a game-changing variable that cannot be ignored. This deal, according to those in the know, is more than just financial. It's a strategic declaration that McLaurin intends to redefine his legacy while reshaping the Commanders' trajectory towards serious playoff contention. Analysts are whispering about the long-term implications of this move, speculating that McLaurin's contract could become a blueprint for future wide receiver negotiations, particularly for players demonstrating elite talent early in their careers. The combination of monetary reward and performance-based incentives has pundits suggesting that the league might see a new wave of contracts designed to empower star players while forcing teams to elevate entire rosters around them. Rumors indicate that McLaurin himself is keenly aware of his platform, using it to send a message to young athletes and peers alike. Dominance is earned, respect is commanded, and the NFL is a stage for those willing to seize it fully. The chatter suggests that every snap this season will be scrutinized, analyzed, and celebrated, with McLaurin's every move becoming a storyline, a headline, and a viral sensation. The magnitude of this shift is electrifying. From fan forums to expert panels, the discussion surrounding McLaurin has become almost feverish, with debates over whether the Commanders can realistically leverage his talents to secure a Super Bowl berth this season. Rumors hint that the locker room culture has transformed overnight, with veterans feeling rejuvenated and younger players finding inspiration in McLaurin's work ethic. Observers report that coaches are experimenting with unorthodox formations and play-calling strategies specifically designed to exploit his skill set, signaling a season-long chess match with defensive coordinators across the league. Social media speculation ranges from the absurd to the plausible, imagining scenarios where McLaurin dominates game after game, forcing defensive coordinators to adapt or face humiliation. Whispers suggest that his confidence could be contagious, potentially sparking a winning streak that catches even the most optimistic pundits off guard, transforming the Commanders into a feared and respected opponent from day one. Rumors suggest that the deal has already had a psychological impact on rival players, some of whom are reportedly reconsidering their approach to defending against the Commanders. Sources claim that McLaurin's reputation for precision and tenacity is causing defensive backs and linebackers to prepare differently, sometimes overcomplicating strategies to account for his versatility. Analysts are speculating that this shift in preparation could create ripple effects throughout the league, with teams potentially diverting resources, altering practice plans, and adjusting personnel just to counter one player. Fans are reportedly enjoying this chaos, sharing memes and hypothetical scenarios that highlight McLaurin's perceived invincibility. Coaches hint that his presence alone is enough to elevate the team's entire performance, suggesting that he may serve as both an offensive catalyst and a cultural touchstone capable of defining the Commanders' season, regardless of the scoreboard. Behind the scenes, rumors continue to swirl about McLaurin's influence extending beyond the field, shaping the Commanders' strategic and operational approach. Sources indicate that he participates in film sessions with a meticulous eye, helping teammates identify weaknesses and opportunities in opponents' defenses. Analysts speculate that this intellectual involvement adds a layer of unpredictability to the Commanders' offensive strategies, making them more dynamic and difficult to defend. Fans on social media are constructing elaborate scenarios about record-breaking plays, game-changing touchdowns, and the ripple effect of McLaurin's dominance on ticket sales, merchandise, and team visibility. Whispers suggest that rival teams are not only concerned about the immediate impact, but also the long-term message this signing sends. Washington is serious about contending, and McLaurin is the herald of a new era of strategic ambition and unstoppable confidence. As the NFL community digests this monumental signing, speculation about McLaurin's potential legacy is reaching fever pitch. Rumors hint at comparisons to all-time greats, with insiders suggesting that if he continues on this trajectory, he could define the Commanders' identity for a decade. Analysts are speculating about record-breaking seasons, playoff heroics, and a cultural shift within the league that mirrors the intensity of this acquisition. Fans are predicting highlight reel moments that will dominate sports media cycles, while coaches acknowledge the challenge of containing a player of such caliber. The consensus forming in whispers, forums, and sports studios alike is that McLaurin's presence changes the narrative entirely, signaling a season of heightened expectations, relentless pressure, and exhilarating potential, making the 2025 campaign one of the most anticipated and buzzworthy in recent memory. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.